Tax Masterson, Easton Evans, and
Yo.
Edvard Chalupa. And then my wife in the background who's dragging a box. So I don't know if you guys can hear or see that, but that's currently happening.
Is Kate watching the Olympic tennis?
Yeah. We've been plugged in the Olympics. Speaking of gaming, this has been an interesting Olympics.
Real life
I feel like
gaming?
it's.
IRL.
I just feel like it hasn't gotten the same amount of coverage that it typically gets. Like I feel like so disconnected. Like I haven't watched much of it, although I did see my fair share of people on Facebook talking about how the opening ceremonies was a war crime. But hey, I didn't catch any of that.
I liked the blue guy who was playing as baby Jesus. He was a cool whatever sport that was. Amazing,
Dude. It's crazy that Nintendo has such a hold on the world that they can just put Wii Sports in real life. That's crazy to me, man. Oh man.
Yeah. No. I think a lot of it's just like people are exhausted with the amount of. I don't even know where you go to watch it. I think Kate has like Direct TV through her parents or something like that. But there's way too many subscription services nowadays.
Maybe that's why we're not hearing a lot about it, is because nobody has cable anymore.
Yeah, and we're all broke from the Peacock, the Netflix, the Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO. I don't know. So
House of Dragons was crazy.
House of Dragons was popping.
House of Dragons was crazy.
I don't know if we can like rip on the spoilers right now, but
What time are you gonna post this though?
So here's what I've been doing. I've just been posting them to YouTube. Should I go back to Spotify? I don't know. I like the
It don't
YouTube
matter.
format more.
But let's do that, but we can spoil it because I was gonna say my girl. She said I felt.
Wait. All right, everyone. We're gonna let's see here. We're gonna talk about this Game of Thrones episode for 2 minutes. So starting now, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, jump to the future in 2 minutes. Okay. All right, go.
Okay, so Rhaenyra playing Hunger Games with the bastard children, that was interesting, and Vermithor,
that was sick. Battle Royale.
Yeah, I felt like they could have been a more diplomatic way of doing this. Like, hey,
Hell
everybody draw a straw. You go in first.
No, it's like Battle Royale. Y'all get yours. We'll see.
Dude, it's not Battle Royale. It's all you can eat buffet.
Yeah,
that boy the barbecue. The barbecue.
And she just goes and sits on the top, and she's just like looking like, yeah. All right, who's gonna claim him? Oh, this guy. All right, we're gonna kill. I mean, it was really interesting, and then seeing the other dude go into the other dragon pit, and I was like, at this point, I felt bad for him because he was just like the leftover guy. Because she's like, I haven't seen a human in 80 years. I'll just take you.
Yeah, desperate. She was thirsty.
That was
she was thirsty
vote.
for a dragon rider right there.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
She's like, you stepped on my dragon poo. It's okay. I like you.
Orange Peanut, I accept you. Nah, man, that was popping. I mean, she was like, she has this whole populist movement going on. She's like, yeah, Rhaenyra for the people. All right, y'all, welcome to the barbecue. They're like, oh, what's for dinner? You, huh?
Yeah.
It might be like a two-pronged sort of attack, right? You find dragon riders and eliminate other like bastard children that could try and take her claim to the throne, right?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is a smart
like, dude, Viserys dig me down in the pleasure house, so it's my throne, baby.
Yeah, that's big city dueling right there.
Big city. 5 stars. You already collected them.
And hey, if they're a worthy person, I guess free dragon, dude.
Man, when they played Red Eyes Black Dragon, I said it's over.
Yeah. I'm also thinking like Adam, he was just so happy. Like my bro didn't have any type of dignity. You ain't standing on no type of business. He was just like, whatever you want, I'll do. My boy, you just got picked for a dragon. You let her talk all grimy to you. You should have been like,
Bruce, always trying to keep my brothers down, man.
Yeah.
Fine.
Like how you get the dragon.
All right, we're still talking spoilers, y'all. 2-minute extension. But
because like, how you get the dragon? He's like, I'm in my knee. My boy, you should have been like, he came to me. Yeah. I'm an innocent bystander.
Yeah, that was wild too, because what is he? He's just like, you came up in the world, and he's like, hey, can I quit my job? And he's like, I'll allow. He goes, he does with the finger. He goes, I'll allow it. I'm like, dang.
Dude, he was trying to even get people to like cover his shift too, and he's like, nah, it's cool, man. You got it.
Man, that's like the guy. The guy won a lottery ticket, and he's like, "Hey, can I take off at my McDonald's shift or whatever?" I'm like, "Bro, you're good.
I won't be in for the next 2 to 3 months." Like,
and then Jace was over here salty. I said, "Bro, we already knew you wasn't a full blood because you and that black hair. We know you.
Yeah,
we know you.
You with that black hair."
You and that black hair. All the other kids got white hair, but you got black hair.
Dude, rebellious man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the show is finally it's starting to cook, but it was the penultimate episode. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bound to be a little hot. I hope the last episode isn't flat. Like sometimes they did that in the like original Game of Thrones, the penultimate popping. And then the last episode of the season, they're like, we're gonna talk for like an hour and a half.
That's what it's gonna be. And it's gonna
they got a world build for the next season, you know.
Oh man,
they got to get whatchamacallit to claim Chief Stealer first, and then that'll be the ending. It'll be her.
Big spoilers. That's big. That's big book spoilers, man.
Man, they've been alluding to it since like episode 3. With dragons. All right. That's a One Piece. That's a One Piece level spoiler.
Dang.
Yeah. All right. So back to anti-spoiler zone.
Yeah.
The Game of Thrones Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, aka House of the Dragon, was good. Y'all should check it out. If you haven't seen it, it's got monsters, it's got lady stuff. I mean, it's all kinds of cool stuff.
It's got monsters. Yeah. It's got monsters. It's got 2 girls kissing.
Literally a dragon.
Dude, that's premium content. All right,
monsters, dude.
All right, so what we're really here to talk to you guys about today is the election. I mean, just kidding. No, scanning Pokemon cards. All right.
I don't know nothing about that. You got to fill me in.
All right. I know a little bit, but Kurt knows enough to be dangerous.
The EV master is here. The master of all things value has arrived. Yeah. So
Neopet.
Hey,
watch out, Neopet people. Those boxes are gonna be trapped.
Oh, those boxes are 100% scannable. But let's not talk about that. So yeah, recently, what has come out over the last week is a Numbskull has purchased a broken CT scanner, fixed it up over the course of 3 months, and then he was like, "Hey, you know, it'd be funny if I scanned a Pokemon pack and see if I could see any layer differential." And figure out what's inside of it. So this person did it. I encourage you guys to watch that initial video because it's pretty cool. But it worked. The foil layering is different than just the base layer of the cardboard. And he was able to accurately see the outline of the holographic in his first edition jungle pack.
Oh,
without a doubt.
What did he get with a good card?
Why a jungle pack? He should be hitting that base set.
I think so he had a jungle pack, and then he went to a card store and bought an unweighed fossil pack. And I think he hit like a Hypno out of the jungle pack and a Gengar out of the fossil pack. Okay. So you know he hit, right? Like this was what you want. So then he brings this to light. A lot of people are like, man, that's crazy. I never knew that existed. A lot of the like con men, the big whales in the TCG community, they're like, shit, they know what we're doing now. And this has been all brought to light. So now there's a company that has performed a more extensive research video where they've done a box of modern Pokemon, and they're able to determine the hits in a box. They've done a box of One Piece, and they found like a character art rare in that box. They did an ETB, and they saw the hit in the ETB. Like there is no limits aside from vintage Magic the Gathering, because there is no foiling. Anything that has foiling can be kind of yoink.
Loophole, huh?
Right. But that's not to say that modern Magic is still susceptible. Those serialized rares that Hasbro's been pumping out for the last year or so, those are the easiest things in the world to find. You throw that collector's booster through a CT scanner, see a little rectangle. Oh, got it serialized. Grab that exact pack, sell the rest of them. Easy money, easy profit.
And then you can just put another pack in there and resell
it's bad. It's bad. Like they did it with all sorts of different card games. Obviously, sports is very easy to do. I think sports is where a majority of like the behind closed doors type of shadiness was happening. And maybe that's just me like copium that they're not doing it to my monster card game. But anyways, sports is very easy. There's tons of foiling. You got little inserts of jerseys and stuff like that. That's so easy to pick up on a CT scan. But it's very fascinating, and I encourage everybody to like go and just look at the website for the company that is now charging you $75.
What is the website? Can we give them a plug? Do you know?
Yeah, sure. It's industrialinspection.com.
Dang, take that PSA.
Right.
Well, as you had alluded to, let's be real. The likelihood of this occurring, that this guy who leaked this or whatever made the video, surely he cannot be the first person. Like, I've thought of and I'm not saying like I'm by no means original or innovative, but I've had this thought myself. I was like, oh, imagine if you could just X-ray a pack. Right. Surely somebody with the means and money and know-how has been doing this.
For sure. I think so on the very high end of it,
yes.
Right? Like the multi-million-dollar investors in cards and collectibles. I believe that's the means to that has been happening for quite some time, but it's never been brought to light, right? It's sort of like the secret society. Like, oh, you spend $3 million a year on Pokemon cards, you get invited to the club, or you get access to the dentist office that you can use their CT scanner. But
maybe that's why the gold tickets never got popped up or something. They hit him with right back around the MetaZoo.
Hit him with this. You could skip the middleman. You don't even need a CT scanner. You just need to know the right person.
Right. But I mean, so like with vintage Pokemon and really most card games, you are able to weigh those packs and determine if there is a holographic, which is typically a hit. You spend $200 on a fossil pack, and if you hit a holo, most of the time it's going to be worth that amount of money or more, depending on what you get, right? So that's no secret. I remember going to Walmart in my heyday of Pokemon and weighing blister packs and buying the heavy ones.
Dang, the industry expert.
My boy was over here like,
oh, I mean, listen, you gotta work harder. You gotta work smarter and harder, man. I've had so many Walmart employees be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Just figuring out which ones I'm gonna buy.
QC. I'm QC for the Pokemon company.
So this, weighing Pokemon packs, weighing Lorcana packs, weighing any type of pack that uses foiling, you're able to. Yep, there it is.
No, he got the drug scale. He got the drug scale.
My boy Kurt was like,
wait, let's see. Let me see if mine's on.
He's got a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Oh man, I don't have mine on my desk. I think it's out in the kitchen.
I got mine. I got mine right next to me too. That's so funny.
Listen, those scales, those are used for two things, and neither of them are for weighing jewelry. So let's just be honest.
let me get an eighth. Let me get an eighth of those Pokemon cards.
Yeah, let me get an eighth of Charizard, please.
Please.
So no stranger to trying to manipulate your odds of opening sealed product. Obviously, if you just want to play a game, you never buy sealed product. You just purchase singles. You just purchase off the secondary market because your odds are 100%. You're always going to get that card if you buy it from somebody.
Yeah.
But with this CT scanning that has come forth and come clear, and again, the guy who made the original video, gosh, the amount of money that he could have made by offering this to the masses before saying, "Hey, I've done this silly little thing for free." Like, he could have been first to market. He could have made that money, but now this company has come forward and $75. You send them a pack, they'll send you a CT scan, authenticate it. They say, what we tell you is in it is what is in it. So it's pretty mind-boggling. And I've spoken to people within the TCG space and also people outside of the TCG space just to see what their reaction would be on it. Like, hey, they're putting Pokemon cards through CT scanners so they can figure out what's in them. And it's very funny for someone that's not, I think it's kind of funny for people in the TCG space too. But one person was like, yeah, they're probably going to have to put radiation tags into like modern product now. A little card that just changes color if it's been exposed to radiation. Right. So,
and they'll pass that expense on to the consumer.
Exactly. Right. So now suddenly your $100 box is now $130, but it's guaranteed to be tamper proof. They might put a little radiation sticker on the outside, something like that. But it's just, it's even so, it's less about the profit now and just the doubt that the average consumer that does a little bit of research is going to have when purchasing sealed product of any capacity. I guess unless you're buying beta starter decks in Magic, I guess you're safe there. But everyone else, I'm not going to go to a card show and buy a fossil pack anymore. Not whenever the possibility of someone telling me, oh no, we didn't, that they already try and get you with this is unweighed. That's a lie. If anyone has ever told you that their vintage pack is unweighed, they're lying to you.
Nah, I swear.
They're all weighed. And if it's heavy, it wouldn't be for sale, or it would be for sale for a more expensive price. But now it's not only are you telling me, you're lying to me and telling me that it's unweighed, now you could know what's inside of it. Why would I buy anything from you? Like, why would you go to a mom and pop shop that knows about this and buy their product? And it's horrible. Like, it's the implications just with like the public fear of getting ripped off is horrible.
Yeah, I know I'm like the outlier, maybe the bad guy here, but I don't understand. There's some things I understand collecting just because you like it, but the collecting as an investment flip aspect is just a little beyond me. Or like, and I know I've said, oh, I liked MetaZoo or whatever because I can make money on it, which is a true story. I also liked playing it, but also by and large, I wasn't like buying up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or even I'll use Pokemon as an example. Like I'm part of the Game Piece Army or whatever. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna be cracking packs hoping to hit it, to get a hit so I can flip it. It's just not. I don't know. And again, I empathize for people that do enjoy doing that. I don't think modern's going to be an issue because those cards are already not worth a whole lot to begin with. So like if you're paying $75 on a box that sells for $75, then and the best hits maybe worth 100, I don't know. At best,
just using modern Pokemon as an example, like this most recent set, Twilight Masquerade, you can buy a booster box for $75, $80. And I haven't checked prices recently, but Pokemon, even modern Pokemon, has just been going up, skyrocketing. I'm sure everyone's familiar with like the Moonbryons that, I had the opportunity to buy droves of them at $300, and I thought that was crazy. I was like, this isn't even a playable card. Why do I want this? And now they're $1,000 plus, depending on the grade, depending on the condition. So, I mean, all of this has gone up, but using the most recent set as an example, the chase card is sort of the alt art Greninja that they have come out with. That's like $200, $250 last I checked. So, I mean, if you hit, you triple your money. So that's kind of the allure. There's a few other cards that are worth $20, $30, $40, $50, but you're really chasing for that triple up, right, on your investment. I was at the card shop yesterday talking to an employee about this, and he just, after I gave him gave the spiel and everything, he's just like, yeah, I've got no love for what I like to call patient scalpers, people that collect sealed and hope to flip it for a profit. I don't care about those people at all. Good riddance. I was like, all right, man.
Dang.
Like, that's millions of dollars that people are losing out on. Like, it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Like, again, I think that's really the biggest effect is probably going to be on those classic vintage box breaks, specifically the sports industry. I mean, we've said this on here a million times. like this hobby or whatever is a niche within a niche within a niche, and then like whatever, maybe outside of Pokemon, even Magic's a bit of a niche, right? Like it's the oldest card game, but in terms and comparative sports card volume, that it's a niche. And then even sports cards in general, in just the universe of things that people like and do and collect or whatever, that's a niche. So like,
I mean,
I don't know.
Do you guys even follow like sports card sealed prices at all? Because I do. I have an old Pokemon friend that does those breaks, does those rips, and like, you know, the companies like Panini or Topps, they're selling these little 10-pack blaster boxes of cards for like $400-$500 direct to consumer, and they sell out instantly, and people buy them, and I just can't imagine something like that. But again, I'm not in that space. Maybe if I was a career baseball fan, I would be singing different praises, but I just couldn't see myself ever buying like a box of modern Pokemon cards for $400, like sort of like the collector's boosters that they do for Magic now. I just can't see myself spending like $300 on 12 packs of cards, but every card is a foil. Doesn't that just like take away from the like uniqueness and the like the special of having a foil? If every card's a foil, that's just like horrible levels of degeneracy. You're like, well, not good enough. Now I need the character foil. I need the extended art foil. All of them are foil. It's like
too much. Man. Back in my day, we had one foil.
One. We had super rare, ultra rare, secret rare. Now it's like ghost rare,
and sometimes you wouldn't even get a foil. You would be grateful if you got a foil,
and you were
for them silver letters at the top.
The silver letters.
Oh, don't even get me started on Yu-Gi-Oh, man. They scanned a box of the most recent set of Yu-Gi-Oh, and those secret rares are plain as day. They foil the letters, man.
Yeah. They said, "Oh, every card's luxurious."
There was no point of comparison in the Yu-Gi-Oh box. They go, okay, here's the 2 secret rare hits. They're these 2 packs right here. It's like, yeah, sure are.
I don't know. It's just another example of the person with the least amount of info, or the small folk. You know, basically, to make it put an analogy together, is basically people. We're the Targaryen bastards, and we're just getting sent off to Verminther. And
to the barbecue, the
barbecue, per usual.
That's how it is, man.
But hey, one of us might hit. One of us might
hit.
One of us might hit.
One
of us might get to eat beef for dinner tonight instead of just fish every damn day. But
yeah. Man, I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those things. It's gambling, but when you take away the gambling aspect, it feels a lot less fun. And then
especially if you're the one losing.
I know. You're like, I wonder why I never was able to get a lackluster soldier when I was supposed to. Maybe they were scanning the boxes.
It's because some asshole was CT scanning your Legend of Blue Eyes packs, man.
Is this the reason why my health insurance premium skyrocketed? They got those CT scanners locked up, man. You got Grandpa over here with a broken hip, and they're like, "Nah, we're looking for the Greninja."
Yeah. You must get that.
The Greninja.
Sorry, old man.
But no, it's going to be very interesting to see. I know that for those of you guys that are familiar with Wubby, Pay Money Wubby, he's recently gotten into the more public eye of Magic the Gathering, like vintage, ripping, collecting, opening, all that stuff. And he was very vocal about like, I want to crack this. I want to expose this. The original guy that had just the bust ass CT scanner, he was like, I'll fly you out. You know, I'll pay whatever it takes for you to crack this code for me. Well, now that a company has done it, I'm sure he's going to be working with them to try and do that and just kind of say like, listen, don't buy random sealed products. Just don't do it. And that doesn't that suck? Like, doesn't that suck on every level?
You have to question everything at this point. I'm a big person. Like once I know that there's a little bit, a small level of tampering or corruption, the whole thing is corrupt from the top to the bottom. So my LGS store owner, you were CT scanning. The company, you were CT. The distributors, y'all were scanning. Everybody was doing it.
It was an inside job.
It's corrupt all the way down, dude.
Yeah. And regardless too, it's like I don't know what the thought exercise is, but even if it wasn't CT scanned and you opened a box and it was just shit, you would assume it's CT scanned.
Which is bad, right? Like that.
You would fall back on that. You would just be like, dang,
dude,
this box was awful because it was sorted already.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the deuce or whatever.
I got the dud, man. That's even if that isn't the case, that's what everyone, even people that, sort of don't have as many brain cells as we do, just to say it as a meme, there will be people that are legitimately convinced and like just adamant about you scammed me. You cheated me out of my money that I worked hard for. People already do that. Like I'm sure you can go to any eBay seller, any TCG player store, and they'll give you stories of, I sold this guy an elite trainer box and he didn't pull anything, and he opened up a case with TCG players saying that I somehow replaced the packs in the box, or I somehow knew that it was a dud and I want my money back. Just stuff like that. This just compounds that idiocy. And it's not good. In an already niche of a niche hobby, it's not good for the people. Oh God, it's bad. I'm just happy I don't have any sealed, because if I had, as soon as that first video broke, I would have liquidated as much as I could. I would have sold it as high as I could, because there's no way, I'd keep that, because I'd never be able to sell it.
Yeah, there's something about like how the seeds of doubt can corrupt absolutely. Like all you have to do is just plant it, and then all of a sudden, once again, that's just all you'll ever think of. And
yeah, like Easton Evans talking about golden tickets in MetaZoo.
Yeah.
I never got my golden ticket because they were scanning.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because Mike Waddell was sending out the boxes that had him in them. What the hell?
Yeah.
Is Mike Waddell the My Pillow guy?
Wait, no.
Oh, it's Mike Lindell. That's right.
Yeah, Mike Lindell. That's right. That's My Pillow.
Okay. All right. Huh. Yeah. Well, let us know how your next Neopets booster goes, Kurt.
If I'm being honest with you guys, I already locked in some allocation for the next set. I'm all in, baby.
Dang.
I think it's a good game. I think their R&D team isn't stupid.
What makes you think that?
Why do I think it's a good game? Because it's
no. Why do you think they're not stupid?
The R&D team isn't stupid. Is they actually give decent answers to their card text. Like people ask, why didn't you just do it like this? Because this is how Magic does it. And they're like, well, this is why we do it like this. They do. The Neopets team does streams every week. The R&D team does streams every week where they take questions, they explain card choices, they explain why it is what it is. They have a plan, and it's, again, I feel like you can kind of say this on any of these like indie TCGs. You kind of get in on the ground floor, and you want to believe in everything, but I don't know. Feels like the guys that are feeding me the information has a good head on their shoulders, and I could be wrong. Sure, don't care. It's still a fun casual game. I'm still rolling dice. I'd still sleeve it up and bring it to a bar and say, hey, you want to play Neopets? Oh, how do you play that game? You roll dice.
You just
easy. Yeah, no problem. It's just a fun little tabletop game.
I was gonna say, I think that a lot of the indie TCGs are in a slump right now off the backs of the whole MetaZoo scandal, when they probably should get a lot more on it. Like the crop of indie TCG creators and teams that I've seen have been a lot better. They've been a lot more professional, a lot more communicative, all around a lot better, and have a actual product that's a lot stronger than maybe MetaZoo necessarily was. But since MetaZoo went out the way they did, I think that a lot of them in this most recent cohort are feeling the backlash of that. And I want to throw out there that hopefully, you know, we see you all. We're going to give as much kudos and try to put as much spotlight. We know that right now is a little bit of more of a trying time because there's a lot of games that are really, really good that can't get, you know, support from LGSs or, you know, gameplay or different things like that going on because it's just a lot of negativity around Kickstarter and TCGs.
Yeah. Well, and I want to hear from some of these TCG folks. Like, listen, here's where I'm at with it. I reached out to several people, several TCG creators and companies, and like we've had a bunch of them on the podcast and all this other good stuff. But listen, if y'all want on here, if you need a platform or something to talk about, shill your game, promote your game, whatever it is, you gotta broadcast a little bit. And this is no slight towards the guys that have been producing their games, but like think about like how are you going to bring new people into the fold, right? How are you marketing this? I mean, I want to see, it doesn't have to, maybe you don't have to run ads, but I don't know.
I mean, the fact of the matter is that they're not, right? They're not advertising.
Yeah, and I don't fully get it because I'm thinking to myself, as you're running into your big launch or your new set or whatever, how are you rolling folks into your game? What's your growth strategy? I don't know. It can't just be like a TTS mod and say, hey, we did it. There's several games at this point that I know we've helped promote and things like that, and I haven't heard back from it. And I think some of the onus is on me to maybe follow up a little bit or on us, but at the same time, it's like, come on over. I want to be able to report on. Yeah, I want to be able to report on what what y'all are up to. I have essentially like a news crawler for things trading card games and stuff, and we'll touch on some news here in a bit. But like, I want to see what's going on with our indies. That's all. So,
and I'll play the flip side of that coin. Why aren't they reaching out to you first?
Yes,
why are you, the potential customer, the potential player, having to reach out to them?
Right.
Why isn't the company reaching out to you? And I'll speak on, even though I'm just a player of Neopets, I have spoken to multiple LGSs about carrying the product and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, it's an upper deck product, so they have the backing for it, but we've just got so much stuff that we don't even want to carry it. I was like, it's going to be an easy sell. It's an easy, counter sitter. Most people know what Neopets is, and they're like, yeah, but most people know what Yugioh is, and that doesn't move. Most people know what Magic is, and that doesn't move. Most people know what Pokemon is, and that doesn't move. It's just why? Why would they collect that? So it's even tougher for the games that have even less of a following because they're not an established IP like Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, even Neopets. Most people our age, around this millennial era, you've heard of Neopets before. Like, isn't that like a website? Yeah, everyone knows that. So they have that, and that's even tough for established IPs, right? So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how they survive. I don't know how the small indie TCGs survive in a landscape that is just barely struggling as it is with the dominating IPs, with the big threes, the big fours. It's tough. And I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked a little bit of how like Tuffy has run stuff with Lolcow, at least. Like, I know they were getting put on podcasts and reaching out to grading companies and trying to grow in that regard. And maybe my head's in the ground, like, maybe I don't know what these other guys are doing, but you and I tried getting just some decks to play from one of these, indie TCG guys, and we would pay for them too, but for some reason just couldn't be bothered to like send us some decks to try out and engage with. So I'm not looking for free stuff. I'm not here to moan, but it is just.
You said I want a CT scan them so I can get the hits.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I'm trying to lumber liquidators. Okay.
But then you got to think if like the time isn't going to doing this whenever someone has reached out to you, then where is the time going? Where's the
sending the Kickstarter on time?
Oh yeah. Well, we've seen a couple of those and that have not delivered on those times. And we're all MetaZoo boys. We know all about things not coming out on time. So maybe we're kind of used to it, but I think from the outside looking in, if I order a product and it doesn't come out whenever I want it to, I'm just getting my money back. Like I don't I'm not doing that. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. My suggestion for these guys in particular is like, if you want the cheapest way to create new customers, is you have to create what's known as lead magnets in marketing. You know, my name PB magnet always meant lead magnet, but everybody's like peanut butter. I realized that I realized that was a mistake after the fact. But when I think about lead magnets, it's about creating content. Content is whatever your time is worth. Okay. And some people value their time more than others, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, you need to create these content structures so that way people can find you and engage with your product, learn about it. I want to see, like, if you're creating a card game, I don't want to see just somebody clicking on a TTS mod. I want you to sit down, like Sorcery, they've done it really well. We want to see people playing with cards, somebody from R&D explaining how the cards work. It needs to be like an actual production. Okay.
It has to be.
It can't be Kevin Cote like sitting on a table playing against himself. And that's the intro to your game for the rest of everyone. Like the whole
they held on to that for like,
so why do you think that doesn't happen?
Yeah, I know.
Indies. Like why do you think that isn't happening? Like why are they not doing that?
Operationally, I think that they are, again, and maybe this speaks to a little bit more of my time with Caster Society, is the creators are really good at being creators, but they're not necessarily really good at the operational and the business side of the inception of a trading card game. So they don't understand that, hey, you need to have a bare minimum like rules, like a rule book. You need to have a how-to video that's professionally done, not just like some fan doing it. You need to have like a wiki page where you can add information about the history of the game. I think that the beautiful thing about TCGs is that they run a lot on fan support. So they have a lot of fans that will go out and make pages, but they lean too much on that, and they don't like either supplement the fans with money or product to scale them up, which again, we'll just use MetaZoo for example. Micro is really big on having people do stuff for free. The app, the life counter app, you should have that already taken care of. The MetaZoo HQ fan made, a lot of the Trementic made the like where the cryptids are, like everything was fan made. And so you have to put some money or at least some product to supplement that, because people get unmotivated really, really quickly, especially when they don't feel like they're being, being respected in the way that they should for
valued, right?
Yeah, valued.
Yeah. Just,
judges.
Yeah.
Compensated correctly.
I remember writing like articles for MetaZoo R&D that just never. They were written, they just were never posted to the webpage. It's just stuff like that. And again, I know it's really easy to be dismissive of like content or your website or things like that. But if you care about sales, like if you care about making money or growth, like at the end of the day, that's what you need to do if you want your project to survive. You actually have to do those things in 2024, at least. There's just so much stuff out there. You can't just be like, oh, well, we made the card game. The art looks cool. Okay, so.
Yeah, right. So.
That's just not, that only gets you so far. So I'll get off my soapbox on that, though.
I mean, I think it's a good soapbox to be on, right? Like,
yeah.
Isn't that the whole point? Like, isn't that what kind of the pod is even about in the first place, right?
Yeah. I just don't want it to go into like a roasting territory of like, listen, you're not doing this, shame on you. Hopefully it doesn't read like that. It's mostly just trying to share some advice on, hey, listen, things are tough right now, I'm sure, across the board. The just general TCG climate or board games or whatever you're doing. again, the cheapest thing you can do. You don't have to run ads. You don't have to spend money on ads. Build up your content. And again, I'll use Tuffy as an example that to some extent, like Lolcow is trying to do that. Their struggles are going to be harder than your average TCG as well. So again, just using them as a use case, like since they Lolcow couldn't advertise even if they wanted to, because it's 18 plus content. It's just not something you couldn't run that on an ad platform. So they're having to go with the more organic content structure. But that means all you other TCGs, you guys have a leg up. Start building that content, start building your website, then you run the ads. But hey, whatever, you know. I would like to see some Neopets ads, right? Like, even if it's not something I'm looking for, I would be easily targeted as somebody who could be served ads.
100%
on that level.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting stuff. And also, I've heard that the Star Wars trading card game, I'm not too into it. I don't really know how it's played or anything like that. But one of the local card stores here in the Dallas area was selected as, I think their tournament structure is they're doing like a Pro Tour qualifier structure where there's like 16 events around the country that qualify you for the big tournament, once a year, right? And one of the stores here in the Dallas area was selected as one of those stores, and I think they sold 300 seats in 32 minutes and sold out for that Star Wars TCG game. I don't know the pricing or anything, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Like, that's pretty cool that they can just say like, hey, we're one of them. We got it. I guess you can also use Yugioh as a use case here in the Dallas area. There's one card store here in Dallas that they run qualifiers for nationals and qualifiers for stuff like that. They've undertaken that, and it still exists. You can still do it. You just gotta want to do it, I guess. Like, if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get any results. You're going to get the same 25 bums that have been there since day one. And yeah, sure, they'll like show up to your stuff. They'll support you. They'll pay
they'll pay $5 and get a bag of snack size Lays.
Yeah,
and but that's not 25 bums. Don't sign the checks, playa.
No.
We got to have like 2,500 bums to sign the checks. So it's, you just kind of have to look at it and say like, what are you doing? If not this, then what? Where's the manpower going to? Because it can all be towards the artwork. It can all be towards just trying to get your game printed. Like, just hey, makeplayingcards.com, run it. Run that 5,000 allocation of those cards. Print them out.
Yeah,
they'll do it for you. I promise.
And you would know too.
I'm saying, like, if you really want physical cards, like you're saying, it's not just a TTS mod that your players can play with. Like, print the cards or develop an app. It's not, TTS is not the answer. It's a nice foot in the door, but it's not your main answer. People want to play your card game. They want to sit down across from their friend and they want to play their card game. And if you can't deliver that, then no one's going to care. Even when it comes out, no one's going to care. Right. Like, oh wait, I bought this. Let me see if anybody wants to buy this off of me. I've already bought like $300 worth of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so oops, my bad. I don't know.
Well, on a more positive note, I'm going to speed run this news here. I just want to leave us on something. Actually, some of this news isn't all positive.
Oh, dang.
But we're just going to run it anyways. Gen Con's coming up. That's exciting.
This weekend.
Especially for the CT scanners.
CT scan. Yes. I heard it's going to be right next to the medical conference, so it's a good timing.
Good overlap, man.
But Koalas on Broadway is a new collectible card game with first demos available at Gen Con.
Let's go!
I know, yeah. It's developed by an Australian company, and it's about koalas with Broadway musical themes. It's a playable trading card game. So,
wow.
And here's the thing. I'm talking about koalas on Broadway, right? these people have the wherewithal and know-how to put out a press release. Like I mean, guys, come on. This is koalas on Broadway. Yeah, bare minimum.
Dude, they're at Gen Con.
Yes, they're at Gen Con. Say what you will about the koalas. I like koalas. Okay, I'm not necessarily a Broadway guy per se, but
you might be convinced.
Yes, yeah. But like I said, here we are talking about it.
Yeah, right.
So, just a friendly tip to all of our other creators out there: do more like that. So yeah, the koalas on Broadway. Pokemon, lots of Pokemon news. Pokemon and Crocs are collabing.
Again,
get your drip up, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Drip up.
They have
make sure you get a big enough size. I hate going to conventions seeing the big boys.
Hold on, boys.
With the busted up flop.
I got my little I got my little Pokemon nubbin on my Croc right here.
Right. Oh dang!
That's fancy.
That sounded a little not safe for work, but hey.
Giblet. I think they're called giblets. I'm so sorry.
They're called giblets for real? Or are you just saying that?
Yeah, the little things you put in the croc holes. Yeah, they're
no way. Giblets. They're called giblets.
Giblets. Yeah.
Dang, makes me think of Hank Hill. You giblet head.
That's what they're called.
Dang.
I saw that collab. I mean, anything that Pokemon touches, people are gonna buy. But it's pretty cool. I love
this one seems like a home run, but they've got some big hits too. They picked Charizard, Jigglypuff, Gengar, and Snorlax. I think they'll be very popular and probably scalped to some degree as well. Now that I think about it, you have that crossover between like sneaker culture and Pokemon. I think some of that might be present. I don't know.
Oh, it will be 100%, especially if it's like a limited release. I mean, a lot of Croc limited drops, like just offhand, Shrek Crocs were scalped to oblivion. Lightning McQueen Crocs were scalped to oblivion. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, they did like a run of like different General Mills like cereals and Crocs. Those were also very expensive, very hyped up. So KFC Crocs, how could I forget the KFC Crocs?
Dang,
with the little fried chicken leg. Yes, sir. Those were also hyped. I hope that that's not the case. You always hate to see that whenever there's something that you want to own, you have to pay like double and triple of what the store is charging you for. But
I think Pokemon would attract that overlap for sure.
Oh, 100%. I mean, they already do, right? Like they do collabs with like luxury brands. And just off the top of my head, I think they did a collab with what's the brand? Like Swarovski, the crystal company, where they made like a crystal Pikachu like sculpture, and it retailed for like $3,500, very limited in quantity. People are like, no one's going to buy this. The people that have them, they're worth like $10,000-$15,000 now, and people are paying those. So Pokemon knows what they're doing for sure. Like and Crocs just seems like a no-brainer. Seems like a no-brainer on the kid and the adult level. So.
Right. Well, speaking of money and Pokemon, the Pokemon Company in 2023 made $10.8 billion in sales revenue. Pretty substantial. What I thought was interesting is the top 10 global licensors of 2024. Pokemon's number 7. Wow. So now this is what that tells me. It's about like the IP as a whole, right? So it's counting when we talk about these things. We're talking about TV shows, movies, all the other stuff that people probably shouldn't otherwise buy. But anyways, Walt Disney, the Disney company, made $62 billion. I don't know what Authentic Brands Group is. We'll skip over them. I don't know what Dot Dash Meredith is. Warner Brothers is number 4 at $15 billion, and above Pokemon is Hasbro at 14.1.
Uno's killing it.
It is okay. I mean,
Uno is like killing it. Like they have just like all these different variants of Uno, and it's like basic Uno Extreme, Uno like Flip. They've done a really good thing with having Wizards of the Coast, and like some of their games are doing particularly well.
Okay. Yeah. That'd be kind of funny. I was a playtester for Uno, huh?
Dude, I was a playtester for Uno No Mercy. I created the draw 20 card. Ask me anything.
Moving along, I guess in regards to Hasbro, we've got Magic the Gathering's Bloomborough set. I heard that's popping off. A lot of people like the creatures, the critters. I'm even a little tempted to like pick it up just because like I don't know. It just looks fun. Looks cool.
Yeah, I like it. The cards are cool. It's simple. Definitely beginner friendly. Like you're not like coming in with all these huge text box creatures and different things like that. Like it's pretty simple, and the cards look cool too.
Very cute.
Yeah, it reminds me of like childhood fantasy books and stuff like that. Or no, you know what it reminds me of? I love Redwall. Okay, and these remind me of like Redwall book covers. The art.
Dude, you know how many AR points Redwall was worth in 3rd grade?
Like 30 or 40.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Dude,
gotta get to that pizza party.
Was it Brandon Jocks or whatever? Something like that. Brian.
Yeah.
But on top of that, though, this is, you know, I feel like it's kind of fallen out of the zeitgeist a little bit, but they're doing a collab with Monty Python for their Secret Lair. Magic is, and they have a card that's just like "'Tis but a scratch." That's kind of funny. It's just all like the, I guess, memes or whatever from that movie. So maybe that'll appeal to some people. I think that's fun. Yeah, I talked a little bit about Bloomborough. As I mentioned before, Rita did a art on there. They revealed a new Pokemon Worlds promo for Pikachu. I don't know if people have heard or read about that. Okay, Kurt, not a fan.
Unplayable. Get it out of here.
All right.
It's
what like is just because it's not playable? It's just like, hey, we don't want it.
That's right.
Right. It's trash.
The price of the World's promos directly reflects how playable they are. In the last couple of years, they've printed their World's promo has something to do with like Psyduck. Like if you're playing Psyducks, then it gets like some sort of bonus. That just means that they're never going to print a playable Psyduck card. For those that are not informed, but in the past, we could do a whole episode of Worlds promos and their playability and how it affects the market and stuff like that. But cute card, not playable. No one's gonna care, anyways.
Wow. Well,
but okay, hold on. Let me redeem them. Pokemon has done really good with their Worlds items, not cards, but their promotional items. Last year, they did for Japan Worlds, they did a ramen bowl that was exclusive to Worlds. It was just a bowl to put your ramen in, man, and it was sick, and it's cool, and it's worth like $50. This year for Hawaii, they are doing a ukulele, like a high-quality ukulele that just has Pokemon branding on it, and that's pretty freaking cool, if I do say so myself.
That's awesome.
I got the reference.
I would buy the Pokemon ukulele.
Well, in other uplifting Pokemon news, over $1 million worth of Pokemon cards were stolen in at a store in England. So I guess the store had been hit once, and these thieves stole like a couple singles, and that's sad and everything like that. But it's likely the same thieves. But they came back, they found the warehouse, and they stole.
They found the warehouse?
According to the owner, which I always feel like these numbers are inflated because why not, right? Especially something as speculative as the card market. But even still, they claim that $1.2 million of stolen Pokemon cards were taken out of their warehouse. I can't imagine how many I don't know, like, were they just there all night with a like a giant U-Haul and nobody did, or
that's a lot of binder pickups. You put your binder down on their binder and then you walk away out of the store with it. That's a lot of those throughout the day.
Yeah. But 1.2
stop them.
Well, and then like, how do you liquidate them too? So you got all this inventory. It's like somebody's gonna catch on like that.
You go to Dubai.
Sounds like I'm getting on British eBay real fast.
Yeah.
Deal of a lifetime, $1.2 million collection.
Oh my god.
600,000.
Yeah, right.
And that's that's all my TCG news. So nothing too crazy, nothing too groundbreaking. Didn't find any new like Bitcoin games or TCG games that popped out at me, but that's all I got, boys.
Dude, Koala Combat or whatever it was called.
Hamster Combat.
Hamster Combat.
Oh, Hamster Combat.
I
still need to crack Hamster Combat. I found some stuff online, but I've been busy.
Clearly you're not devoted to the hobby, so
no,
yeah, you don't deserve it.
Those fair weather Hamster Combat fans.
Yeah.
Oh God.
All right, y'all. Well, hey, enjoy the rest of the Olympics if you can watch them. Watch out for your Pokemon cards,
especially in England.
Yeah, and make sure to send us some decks. We'll pay for them or what? No, I won't pay for them. You can send us our decks.
I'll pay for them. You can send them to me. I'll pay for them.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for stacking the deck, and we'll see y'all next time.
Peace, y'all.
Bye.